through my veins. On the pitch where the glory remains, the cockerel stands brave on the crest. North London pride, this ain't no jest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of king and greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash, numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd, every game we scream it loud. Oh, Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. We're the ones who rise in the clash, numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd, every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Good evening, guys. And only once in a blue moon do you get these legends on one screen. These men, legends, goes beneath them, goes before them. I'm only small to compare to these gentlemen that are around me this evening. To my left, I've got the Tottenham end. To my right, I've got the Manchester United end. I don't know if I got that right. And then down below, I've got the Arsenal covered. And me, what am I covering? Just poor old Ireland, because we're shit at football and we won't be qualifying for the World Cup. But all these other people will be. So F you all. Joining me tonight, of course, is a legend, Mr. B from the Manchester United agenda. Mr. B, how are you, sir? We can't hear you.
Can
I
you
still
lip read?
can't hear you. Can I
I'm
hear
trying
you
to lip
now?
read it.
Yeah, can't hear you, Mr. B.
Can you hear me? You can hear me now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm sorry
Lip
about
read
that.
you.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
That's-
Rookie error. But yeah, thanks for having me on, Dems. Bless guys. Thanks for be willing to put up with my my nonsense today. But yeah, Dems, thanks for inviting me, gents.
No problem.
I appreciate
Also,
it, man.
next to me is my legendary co-host. This man needs no introduction the world over. He is the man, he is the myth, he is the legend. Apparently, the new James Bond. Now, this is the rumors out there. He's going to take over from Daniel Craig as the new 007. I don't know if you can you confirm that news tonight, James? Are you going to be taking over that mantle and leaving us all behind?
All I'll say is I like my martinis shaken, not stirred.
Well, there you go. That all answers. James, how are you tonight, bud?
I'm good, thank you very much, Dermo. Pleased to be on. It's always a pleasure to have a good football debate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Looking forward to this. This is something we're going to do once a month. It's just all these. I know Mr. B does the Premier League mix every Friday. This is not like this. It's going to be slightly different twist on it. Once a month, we all get together and talk Premier League, talk world football, where anything goes. So, and also the last segment of the show is I asked you, you have to pick tonight's question is pick one player from your past to put into today's first 11. So that is the very end. Me, Mr. B, we can go a bit further. And Brendan as well. We can all go a bit further back. James can't because he's a 90s kid. He's an Oasis, like walking around with these.
I'm no 90s kid.
What?
I'm no 90s kid.
Well, maybe Geeks is a 90s kid, but down below, covering the Arsenal end, as we have to keep them below, as this is the Tottenham channel, the Arsenal lads have to be below us, of course, and that's where they will end up at the end of the season. It's Brenny and Geeks, both from the Armory, or whatever it's going to be called now. I don't know what it's going to be called. But Brenny,
Football Takeover, yeah.
Football Takeover. We'll definitely give that a massive plug at the end. But Brenny, how are you, sir? My old mocker, how are you doing?
I'm good. I was just loving your intro, man. It's like took me back to the 90s, with when I said, well, I still watch them if I see them, those manga animations. Oh,
yeah, I had the same point, Brenny. It was like a cartoon, wasn't it? The song.
I thought it was going to be Legend of the Overfiend coming out, or Street Fighter, or what was that one that
Transformers as well. It had that sort of rock, didn't it? Yeah.
Afro Samurai with Samuel Jackson, man. I'm thinking, wow, that was some tunes, man. And I thought I would see one of Clive Allen's 49 goals.
No, the intro will be changed. The music will be kept. Yeah, but Samuel L. Jackson's in everything, isn't he?
Yes.
Every film you see, Samuel L. Jackson's in it, to be fair. Legendary acting. And Geeks, I know you're not feeling well, brother, but how are you this evening, sir? Great to have you on.
Hey, I'm very grateful for the invite to get to chat football with you fantastic people. So, no, I'm all good. Thank you. Just grateful to be here. I feel like usually in the comments section.
It's been ages since I've, you know what I mean? It's been ages since I've shared a screen with the
I've
beat.
been missing you, Brennan.
About 3 years, man.
Withdrawals. I know.
Yeah.
Mr. B
knows
knows Brenny.
Me and Brenny do quite a bit with each other on Brenny's channel as well. So, just to fill that in.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And that's still growing.
Yeah. Listen, guys, let's get into it. Let's do a bit of housekeeping. James, if I bring the comments up, can you read them out, bud? Because my throat's a bit sore tonight, so I might need you to do a little bit of heavy lifting for me tonight, if you don't mind, sir. So, so here we go. Big up from here for Luke Chapman.
Big up, Luke. He says Swansgate Shopping Centre, Bad Town Centre, Wellingborough, rundown shop.
It sounds like a code. I think he needs help.
Yeah, bit random. Then there is a big up to my cousin Arcom. Call him in the house. It says best YouTube presenter, Mr. B is in the house.
I want some money.
Yeah, what's he after? He's stroking your ego there, Mr. B. He's after something.
Can I just say,
ego, it's all right.
We didn't put the tenner. Did you put the tenner in the poster column to big us up? Did you pay him?
Obviously not.
Obviously not. No. Okay, we'll pay you double next month, column. And I like the way James is just looking around.
Maybe he's sending it by pigeon. Look,
I've sent it by a snail mail. Sent it off. Strapped it to snail. He's on his way.
Yeah. James, sorry, 23 months. Big up to him though, member. And
yeah.
I always say this, but he's been a great help to this channel. Did all the tech work behind, and he done everything for us. Intros, thumbnails. This channel would be lost without Colin and the help he's given us. So big up to him, and everyone do get over to the Manchester United agenda. It is a great channel over there, Mr. B. And the guys over there. I'm very lucky to go on there on a Friday evening and have to crack with them, all things football, and it's great over there. So if you can, go over there and show them a bit of love. But 23 months, thank you so much, Colin, for your support and your friendship and everything. James, do you want to say anything to your cousin?
Yeah. I mean, Yeah, cuz. How you doing? Hope you're good. And yeah, I mean, what you missed the most important thing out of all that, Dermo. What Arcom gave you? Arcom gave you me. I mean, come on.
I
You
know.
just forget about me that quick. You just it's he gave me did this, did this, did this.
No,
He
no,
gave you
I was
me.
letting you say that. I was letting you boast that because you know I
All
don't
right.
need to pick you up. You are the glue that links this channel together. I mean, I don't know if it's a Donny thing, or
Well, I'm not from Donny, so it don't, that don't count. Colm's from Doncaster. I'm from
no.
Pontiac. It's
Ted,
different.
I will
It's
be
11 miles off.
talking about non-league. Actually, before we get the rest of it, talking about League One, League Two. There was a very good documentary about Doncaster Rovers column. I will send it to you. I was watching it today. It was back from the early 90s. It's really interesting, and it's about about your former owner. Who am I right to say, Colin? Maybe you can correct me. Did he try to burn down his own stand for
Yeah, he tried
insurance
to burn
money?
down Bellevue. Yeah, he tried to burn down Bellevue for the insurance. He basically tried to
Bellevue.
ruin the club. Yeah, old Bellevue. Yeah, that's what the old ground used to be called. And he basically tried to torch the stadium on an insurance job, and basically botched running Doncaster, and he botched burning down the stand as well. So, but yeah, Mr. Richardson.
I wonder if Daniel Levy tried doing that at Tottenham.
No, he just tried to burn down everything. Did Daniel Levy?
Mind you, that's so true. Right. Big up to Michael Harris as
Big
well.
Mike.
Good evening. Please
Big up,
like
Michael.
and subscribe. Here we go. James, read this one out from Colin as
It
well.
says you will get one within the next 25 to 35 business days, Derm and James. Big up to all the panel.
Bless.
He also says yes, he did. He also says yes, he did. That was, I think, in reply, did our chairman, did the Donny chairman try to burn the ground down? Absolutely.
I
you
think that
say
should be the
Bellevue,
first.
and I think the asylum. That's what makes me chuckle when you say Bellevue.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the first place we should start actually. On League One, League Two football. We all have on League One, League Two clubs we sort of follow. We all, we all support Tottenham, Manchester United, Arsenal, but we all started as kids watching non-league football or being brought to the local non-league side. Mine was St Albans City. I used to go down and watch them every home game. I think it's the only stadium that's built within a park, if I'm right. I think it is. I started there. Who was your non-league side, Mr. B, when you were younger? Who was the non-league team you followed?
I didn't. When you said everybody had one, I'm thinking, shit, am I the only one?
I've got one.
I'm hoping I'm not the only one, to be fair. Damn, all I had was my football in the park, mate. I didn't care who. I mean, we played, you know, 5 minutes from the stadium, but I had no idea what my local team was. I didn't have a clue. So we were playing with proper names on our back, not the Wheelstones and the Harrows. So, bro, I couldn't even begin to tell you. Even now, apart from my club, I couldn't tell you any of the non-league clubs around here. So you'll have to leave me out of
James,
that one,
Brenny, Geeks, who was your teams? I know we all like Tottenham, Arsenal, Man United, but was there teams when you were younger, when you couldn't get to your big clubs, that you thought, what, I'll keep an eye out for them?
We had Gillingham and Bromley near us.
Yeah.
So there was obviously that. We had Charlton. I used to go Charlton because it used to be £1 a ticket for kids.
Wow.
But that was back in the day of Carl Leeburn and, stuff like that. So, but surprisingly, the generation that was there there was a lot of Arsenal crossover with the fan base, because obviously the Village Arsenal would have been handed down and the older lot, and then they moved to North London. So, Charlton I always kept an eye on. I never had that affinity with anybody else. It was like there's like Millwall, because there are members of the family that support Millwall.
I'm very sorry for them.
Yeah. But it was just kind of a bit the same as Mr. B. Arsenal were my club. I could support local a little bit, but no, always Arsenal.
I think why I asked James was because I grew up in St Albans. St Albans was, Tottenham was near us, Arsenal was near us, near North London. The main train from Bedford to London came through St Albans, so I was linked to a lot of London clubs. But for people like you up in north, like near Doncaster and that, and who was the clubs you were following around that time? I know Tottenham, but who was the clubs that when you were a kid?
So when I was younger, my dad, my stepdad, he used to take me to Donny Rovers games. He's a big Doncaster Rovers fan. He's a Chelsea and Doncaster Rovers fan, but he sort of leaned more towards Doncaster. Watching Doncaster Rovers was when we first started going. It was just for cup games, so like the FA Cup, the League Cup. They were the times that we started going, and then as I grew older and was available sort of more, and we started picking up the league games and everything like that. But it was always sort of Doncaster Rovers were like my second team, so to speak, who I kept a close eye on. We do have a team that is, I think they're in the 14th tier where I actually grew up of English football. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to have to Google it to find out exactly what tier they're in, but it was Pontefract Collieries, and they were what tier?
Well, the first round of draw for the FA Cup was actually today. Actually, it was happening now. So, if anyone can see who we got, who Donny got, that'd be interesting. Maybe Colin might let us know in the chat. While you're looking for that, James, I'll go down to you, Brenny. Brenny, you look, you talk a lot about non-league football. You're very big into it yourself. Did you find it? James, just very quickly, Brenny. So, did you find it?
Yeah, it's on. Well, the draw. Oh, it's TNT Sports 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be on shortly. No, I was going to say. Yeah, for me, it was, well, growing up in West London, there was Brentford, and I'd only seen like one or two games, but they weren't my team. And the other, QPR, is just down the road here. I went to some QPR games, but the team for me, I still follow them now, was Leyton Orient.
Okay.
Yeah. And Leyton Orient, basically, because that's my my dad's side of London. And
would that be John Snitton's time there as manager?
Yes. No, not as manager. He was a player. He was a really good player. I'm going back to the late 80s. You know, John Sitton. You had players like Alan Comfort who went to Middlesbrough. He was a winger, really good winger. You know, and but I never ever when I stopped going, Ricky Otto was a really good youngster club. He ended up going to Birmingham. So they had some really good players. And Frank Clark was manager. He was manager. And at the time when I was a teenager, it's when I learned about his history with Nottingham Forest, because he was one of the he was in that incredible Clough team. So yeah, it was Leyton Orient. And I still follow the O's. I don't even know who they got in the first round of the FA Cup, but I am into my non-league football as well.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry, just to interrupt. Sorry, Dome. I am going to be dragging the boy down to Bath City. We are going to start giving the local club.
Okay.
So I live in Bath, so we're about to start a Bath City endeavour and pour a bit of our hard-earned cash into them. So,
well, just to give you a little bit, Doncaster Rovers were drawn away to Crewe Alexander in the FA Cup. Mr. B and James up the top there. Look, we all look. We're all from a generation, all of us really, from the generation now where football was football back in the day, where referees' decisions were final. That's it. You went down to the pub, you had a good sort of argument over a few pints, and then you geared up then for the next game. Two separate questions. I'll start with you, James, and I'll go to Mr. B and then Geeks, and then Brenny. I'll go around that way. James, look, VAR. I was watching the Ireland game Saturday against Portugal. We had a penalty given against us, which should never have been a penalty. It hit his chest. and the referee and VAR gave it. Ronaldo missed it, thankfully. Kelleher saved it. Should they? Do you remember the old offside rule back in the day where if you weren't sure, the attacker got the nod, the goal was given, or something like that? Do you think there has to be a little bit of that put into VAR, James? Because I just feel it's too robotic at the moment. I just feel maybe Ange Postecoglou has sense when he says football's been run by the men in Stockley Park. Do you agree with that, or should there be a little bit of balance with VAR?
That's a good question. So when VAR was introduced, everybody thought it was going to sort of like revolutionise the game and change it for the better, and all these, all the wrongful. The way they look at it is all the wrongful decisions were all going to be put right. And what I think the problem has occurred is they've sort of now created a mountain out of a molehill, so to think. So they're micro-analysing the entire game from start to finish. I mean, yes, this year the offside rule has slightly changed. So it actually gone back to what it used to be. A ball-playing part of the attacker has to be in an offside position. So rather than an arm leading, if a player's arm's leading, you can't play the ball with your arm. So just because his arm's in an offside position meant he was in an offside, or his toenail or anything like that. So I do see the benefit of that. But I think we need to stop micromanaging every decision. If the referee and the linesman on the pitch don't see anything wrong with it, and have a quick look at it. One look. Don't take 10 minutes. Don't take 5 minutes. It should be a quick look. Can we see anything wrong with it? No, we can't. Yes, we can. And if that is the case of yes, we can, then announce that they're examine it. I think the feedback to the fans and that is very, very poor. So fans are sort of like, what are you looking at? Because to us, it's clear and obvious that he either handled it or he didn't handle it, or there was a foul or not a foul. But I mean, Spurs game was a prime example where I think it was when we played Bournemouth. The Bournemouth player pushed Mickey van der Ven. Mickey van der Ven then stumbled into another Bournemouth player. But the player that was in front of Mickey van der Ven was sort of like the covering defender. And West Ham wanted it. And then we scored, but then the goal. And then the goal got disallowed because Mickey van der Ven committed a foul. But actually, Mickey van der Ven was actually fouled too.
I know.
And it's that sort of look is why are we not looking at that? And then I think it was a week later, exactly the same situation occurred, and the goal was given. So there's no consistency for me. So it's got to be. Stop micromanaging and be more consistent. That's what I would say VAR needs to do.
I agree with that. Mr. B, look, I run with an idea in my head, right? That ex-players, like in Formula One, to have ex-drivers doing the VAR, they help the people make the decisions. Should there be ex-players in or around VAR looking at games as well, Mr. B? Do you think that might be beneficial to improve it? Because maybe a player's input might make the decisions quicker, better. And also, do you think the referees have to be a bit more clearer when they are talking to the fans about why they've come to that decision?
The referee part of it, agree. I haven't been to the games where bars has been on, but there does seem to be a lack of communication from people that I talk to. Not knowing what's going on. It seems like the people at home, obviously us not watching the game, have more information. Yet that's something that definitely could be portrayed more. They have started talking and semi-explaining their decisions, which is good. I mean, does it placate the situation if you're on the wrong end of it? No. In regards to VAR itself, I thought it would have been a good idea when VAR came in. I'll be honest, I didn't realize it was going to be such a mess. I I'm not sure how they come to certain decisions, certain fouling decisions, free kick decisions. Offside is supposed to be this new automated system.
Yeah.
But when United played the other day, I'm sure it still took 7 minutes for them, or however long it did. For them, it's automated. So as far as I was aware, it was boom, or computer gets the screen up, boom, it's up. That's a 1 minute maybe. Which have gone on so long, I think is a madness. And then obviously when you have decisions that aren't consistent, I think this is what really, really gets on everybody's goat. If it's a foul, it's a foul. But you have VAR with 1 week, we'll give it as a foul, and then next week they're not giving it as foul. So the consistency part, right or wrong, is probably the part of it that really, really bothers me the most. And look, let's be honest. As long as VAR comes down on our team's side, then we're happy with VAR. It's when it goes the other way that it's an issue. So
hang on, didn't you get a lot of penalties at Old Trafford back in the Fergie years?
Oh,
Nothing went against back in the day. To be fair,
VAR wasn't there and nobody complained, Derms, and this is the point.
There's a point here, Mr. B, right? Do you remember the goal we scored against you? I forget, from the halfway line.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the ball was about 20 foot over the line. And I was watching it, right? I just remember Fergie looking at the referee. The referee just caught a glimpse of Fergie and he went, no goal.
Exactly. Fergie was VAR before there was VAR.
Look, we're all from a generation where football is a contactable sport. We know there's tackles going to fly in, guys. Just very quickly, with the bottom guys for Geeks and Brenny, and before we move on to the next subject, I think football's now becoming a non-contact sport, which is ruining the game for me.
Terrible.
So I'll ask you these questions, and I will go to the lads above again. If you can change one thing of VAR, Geeks, what would you change and why? And I will go to James and Mr. B with that question as well.
See, my problem is, I've said this before, the technology is working. It's the people using it. I think that's so hard because there is the communication that needs to improve. The consistency drives me bats. I just want to see consistency in the same week to week. It shouldn't be a different decision depending on what kit is wearing involved. Does that make sense? I feel if I could end the one thing that really gets to me is the mental gymnastics that goes on to support a error. Own it, apologize, move on. Don't stand there saying, oh, well, the ball hit him. And then the very same weekend, somebody else, oh, well, it was played onto him. And, they go through this crazy window dressing of accountability when they go on certain media channels and discuss things. And it is basically, what have I got to defend today? Okay, how am I going to defend that? Okay. And then it's about controlling the narrative and the optics, and this is how it is. Just stop all of that. Just be open, honest. We made a mistake, or we shouldn't have got involved. And it is about that accountability, because then it's like, okay, you've held your hands up. It's when they're constantly trying to whitewash it and say, oh no, this week, this wasn't a foul because, or this week it was a foul because. No. Stop that. Own it. Move on. That's one of the things I would change for me.
Yeah. No, that's good. Brenny, do you agree? Was there anything would you change? Because if you look back when football played back in the 80s and early 90s, you had your Roy Keanes, you had your, even back in the 80s, do you remember we had tough men like Tony Adams, especially at Arsenal, you had Kenny Sampson. At Tottenham, we had Graham Roberts, Paul Miller. Manchester United, you had the great Brian Robson, who I still think Brian Robson is an absolute legend. And I'm not a Manchester United fan, but I'm a massive Brian Robson fan because I think he showed so much commitment and and the comeback from his injuries, and also Paul McGrath, players like that. Do you think VAR is stopping these players of this generation of really expressing themselves and letting football be football, where now they're trying to change it into a sort of, we're trying to sell this product, so we can't do what we're doing? Do you think?
Sorry. Yeah.
No, you're right, man. Do you think would you change anything that way, or do you think it's doing okay?
I just think I do miss that era really. I just find that referees don't always let games flow now like they used to, and for me, with regards to VAR, like I said, nothing wrong with the technology. It's those behind it, and I think what they should do. I know they won't do this, but why not get ex-players who played in the lower leagues and played non-league to be, and they could be neutral.
Yeah,
and they
AI it.
Yeah, and well, that could work, but I just feel just get some ex non-league players, those that have played in the lower leagues all their career, and I just find that with a lot of them they probably have a non-biased view.
Yeah.
And the game
technology is great, I find, but it's how you use it.
That's true.
Yeah. The goal, by the way, Dermo, was Pedro Mendes.
That's it.
Pedro Mendes from near enough the halfway line over Ray Carroll. He came to me, and Carroll dived back into the back of his net. He was like 3 or 4 yards over the line, and he scooped it out, and it was disallowed or not given.
I still can't believe that was never given. I mean, guys, James and Mr. B, look, all of us are lucky to see great players of the past, weren't we? I know you guys at Arsenal had Paul Merson, Ian Wright. At Tottenham, we had Gazza, who I'm going to get on more. Gazza's got a new book out at the moment. He was on TalkSport today. Cool. Absolutely great to see him as he is. Absolutely. I love Gazza to bits. Mr. B, at Manchester United, you had Kanchelskis, you had Norman Whiteside back in the day as well. And players like that. Do you feel VAR is affecting these quality players, these flair players as well? Do you know the likes of, I don't know, of the players gone past, but do you think it's affecting them as well, guys up top? James and Mr. B?
As in affecting them in what, performances?
Yeah, in performances that they can't show their flair, they can't show their skills off more because of VAR, because diving as well crept into it. Do you know? Does VAR need to sort this out? Is this another problem with it?
I don't think it is. If it was run properly, I don't think we would have. I don't think there would be the issue. It's just consistency of decisions.
Yeah. And I think who do you get to run it though? Who would you? Would you AI it? Would you, like Brenny says?
No, I wouldn't AI it. I wouldn't AI it. If it starts going down that route, I mean, they talk about football being everybody's game. Well, on a Saturday, I don't have VAR, and we have to accept that the referee's decision is wrong, rightly or wrongly. I was confused. I understand why they brought it in, but the fact that it doesn't seem to be working every single week, there seems to be an issue. I suppose they're not allowed to bin it and going back to what it was. Even the offside decision, the referees and linesmen now, or assistant referees or whatever they're called now, are lazy because they know if they get the decision wrong, VAR's there to back it up. So I think it could be to do with retraining these referees and linos to get decisions right. I think a big issue was the delaying of the offside flag when somebody's 10 yards offside.
I hate that rule.
Oh my! It's going to be an injury one day. It's going to be a bad injury for it.
Who got injured last season? Was it the player from Forest ran when he was? Was offside?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, damn near killed him.
There you go.
Yeah. Went into post, didn't he? And he knocked himself out and swallowed his tongue. It damn near killed him.
I remember the Brentford game, and Brenny will know what I'm talking about, where they forgot to draw the lines. we've all been around football our whole lives. When there's a free kick, the linesman lines up with the wall.
Yeah.
He has to look along it, and you can instantly see if there's an attacker beyond the wall. Basic lino stuff happens week in, week up and down the country. He didn't put his flag up. Oh, we've got to draw the lines. Goal was offside. Didn't get given offside. Got the goal, didn't they? But it was a very, very basic thing of a linesman looking down the line, something that is bread and butter for linesmen. And this is what I mean. What are they even doing on the pitch anymore? I don't know.
It's shocking, isn't it? It really is shocking. Look, I can talk VAR all night because I hate the system. I think I'd rather go back to the good old days when the referee made the decision. We all went down to the pub afterwards. We all had a good yarn and an argument about it, and we got on. Should be there for goal line technology. That's it. No more. Guys, look, we are in the international break. It is getting a little bit boring.
Yep.
I know not all of us here are international fans. I just wish there was no international break, so I wouldn't have to watch Ireland lose every game, to be fair. England could qualify for the World Cup tomorrow if they win their 6th game in a row. UEFA are looking to make the qualifyings more interesting. I know we were talking about this before we came on, but Mr. B, I'll start with you, sir. International football and qualifying, what would make it more interesting for you to get you to watch it? If UEFA said, right, Mr. B, we want something from you, what would you say to the UEFA president? Right, I want this done. So what would you come up with?
I'm not allowed to say it on this show. I'm not allowed to say it. I'll get you banned. Maybe
whisper it to me. Whisper it to me. Yeah, get ya. Fair play. Yeah.
Yeah. No, look. To be fair, I'm not sure what they can do. I'm kind of old school, innit? I just want them to blow the whistle. You do it, and then you start and you finish. All of these new fandangos, but my son keeps telling me, Dad, you were in the black and white era. I keep telling him no. And I need to acknowledge I'm old, but I'm not that old. But football back in the day for me was just more enjoyable because it flowed. There seems to be a lot of, you see, if you allow, when I played football, when I still play football, if I get tackled and I show I'm hurt, to me, it was a sign of me showing weakness to my son. He's 12 coming on 13. Unless he gets his leg broken, I expect him to get up. I don't expect him to be rolling around. And especially when somebody taps his shoulder like this and he's falling on the floor and rolling, I'm not interested. That's the part of the part. If you're going to use VAR, use it for that.
Yeah.
Stop them going over for a tap on the shoulder. Back in the day when Mark Hughes used to go for a defender and, they showed the tackle of Vinnie Jones did on Roy Keane in one of the games. I mean, he hit him must have been thigh high. No moaning, no nothing. It was what you expected. I think they've trained them, or they've turned the game into, like you said, a non-contact sport. So when there is a juicy tackle, everybody's it's like they haven't seen it before. When it's
you and me are cheering.
Yeah, you go through the man. All right, sometimes when they went through them, they took man and ball. Fair enough, but that doesn't really happen enough nowadays for it to be an issue. You get the ball first, and you leave something on them. It's a man's game, but as I said, it's not really a man's game. We've got the ladies playing it now, so maybe but it just seems to be it's gone down. It's towards the non-contact spot of the
dark side.
I don't like it.
Just
if I can use the Star Wars. Go on, James. Sorry, bud.
I was just saying what Mr. B said there. It's not man's game because we've got the women playing. If you actually watch some of the women's football, it's 5 times more violent than men are. They really do, when they go through players, they'll go through them, and the rest don't even bat an eyelid.
No.
So what if they say it's a man's, but it's a woman's game now? It's all violence is in women's league.
Look, with international, right? I know there's England fans here, and I'm the only Irish fan here. Well, James is an adopted Irish fan as well. We've made him an Irish citizen today. It's all gone through. I paid our Taoiseach about €50, and he said, "Fine." James is an honorary Irishman. Do you think for qualifying that we should have the home championships back? Do you remember the old home championships back in the day?
Yeah.
Well, do you think for qualifying for a World Cup, and England should be put in a group with Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and the Republic in one group?
No.
I get where you're coming from with that, but the problem is England was so strong, and the other leagues and the other nations were, with no disrespect, so much weaker. It's pretty much like the situation England find themselves in now. They're playing against weaker opposition. They're walking through their qualifying group, and they're going to walk into the World Cup. If you do that with the home nations, you're going to have less home nations in each World Cup. So, like, you've got England, Ireland, Wales, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and you throw them all into the mix. You play them all in one group. Yeah, that'd be fine. But then what? You have a winner and a runner-up goes through. You basically, each of the other teams, apart from England, they're basically fighting for second place. Yes, I can understand why you would want that, but is it better having, like, I prefer Geeks' idea. What he said backstage was
Champions League.
Giant Champions League format. Get everybody in. Everybody plays each other once. Where you finish is where you finish. Oh, not even once. 8 games is it for play? You play
8 games. You can do whatever, can you?
Yes.
Yeah.
6 or 8 games. Sorry, didn't mean to bash my laptop there. 8 games. You play 8 games. Where you finish, top 8 go through to a round of 16. 9th to 24th go into a playoff. If you all go into a playoff, and then they all go through, and that's your international competition. And you could run that 2 years, every 2 years. And not have a World Cup, and not have the Euros, and not have this National League. That's my biggest bugbear with international football. There's too much of it, and there doesn't need to be that much international football.
Why there's too much of it, James? Because we don't qualify for tournaments. So the more there is, the better chance for us to qualify and actually get there.
On a qualifying year, it should just be that we don't have the international breaks. We play through the season, and we finish by April. We then go into the qualification league, so nobody's season gets disrupted. You go into the qualification league, you get drawn against whoever's in the league, and you play out your 6 to 8 games, then everyone goes on their summer holidays. You haven't lost anything, and the season doesn't get disrupted 3-4 times a year.
But to put a spin on it, Brenny, it was out last week. It was mentioned that FIFA are looking to put World Cups now permanently in winters, because it's going to Saudi Arabia.
They're money grabbing, aren't they?
34 or something like that. I can't remember. I think it's Saudi Arabia. I think
we just had the Qatari one, didn't we? And they said it worked really well. No, it didn't. Because by the time it worked well for the European leagues, because when they came back, they still had that period of rest for their players. Whereas the English leagues, because with the English leagues as well, is we're one of the few countries in football that actually have 3 domestic competitions, like the FA Cup, the League Cup, and the actual league format. Most of the European leagues have 1 cup and 1 league and their league. So, I mean, if you're like a Premier League team that's goes far in the League Cup, goes far in the FA Cup, goes far in European competition, and up there challenging from the league, you could play close to 60, 62, 64 games. And then they've got to have internationals on top of that, because top clubs are going to have international players. Those players could be playing like up to 70, nearly 80 games in a season.
I don't know. I just think there's too much internet. I think I don't know if you agree, Brenny. They should shorten the we've had 3 international breaks within the first 7 games of the Premier League. The third one will be in November. Do you want it all shoved into one international break? Or even have one in September, one in November. Get one in the middle. Would you be happy with that, or would you change it yourself?
Demo just froze.
You know what it is? It's one thing we haven't mentioned, okay? And I would, to be honest, I would keep it as it is. But the only issue is it's this Nations League. That's where it gets in the way.
Yes, I agree.
The Nation League gets in the way, and this is why at times when you have Nation League games, thinking, hold on a minute, where's the European Championship qualifiers or where's the World Cup qualifiers? It's because of the Nation League. Got to get those out of the way, and then
I know you are.
And then it's what I think it's at the beginning of this year the World Cup qualifiers started.
Yeah,
because before this run of fixtures, there was only some groups that from the European qualifying groups that only played 2 games each.
Yeah.
So I mean that you know what it is. I know we moan about it, but at the same time, to be honest, they have to be played, and you're going to get those around the world that want to have these prefer to have these qualifiers. I mean, how else are they going to qualify for a World Cup? So
a lot of them are a lot longer, aren't they? I think. Big up to Fear the Cannon. Yes, I know who you are now, sir. I know who you are. Big up to. We have to get you on. Yes, for an Irish. Maybe join me and Dave on Thursday if you want to come on as Irish Lads Talk. Support the podcast.
Please like, share, subscribe to Fear the Cannon.
Yeah, great lad. He's got a question for us all. Question for the panel. Getting 1 point for a draw may be done away with. Example: if you draw, it's a nil. If you draw, it's no points. I think it would make games more attacking. James, do you go around quickly the panel with this? James, yeah, Nate, would you up for this?
No, I think it ruined the game.
Yeah, Mr. B.
What would you get for losing then? If you get 0 for a draw?
Nothing. I think his idea is if there's no 1 point, it will make teams play less defensive football. So you have to go out and win the game.
Leave it as it is. Leave it as it is. Leave it as it is. I wouldn't change anything about. I wouldn't change the jeopardy on that at all.
Brenny?
I'm the same. I'm the same. I wouldn't change anything at all.
Geeks?
I don't mind. I really don't mind. If it meant you'll go for it, and there's no point in holding out for a 0-0 or a 1-1 and all the rest of it, and winner takes all. I don't mind. I don't care. When did the 1 point come in?
Yeah.
It didn't always be a point for a draw, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it did. Wasn't it 2 and 1? 2 for a win.
2 for a win, wasn't it?
It was 2 for a win.
2 for a win.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that was. No, I mean, I'm not against it. I'm open to it, but it's kind of like, respect your opinions too.
Arteta would have no choice. We drew like 20 games last season.
We'd be relegated.
I just want to say big up to the real year 7 Lewis. Big up Lewis. Straight knockout over 2 years. Old school. That I think that's great for qualifying for a World Cup. Straight knockout over 2 years. I agree with that. Well done. Big up to Rayman. Big up to your Rayman. Oh my God, the amount of times they bounce up after being mortally wounded. Yeah, that's about diving. That's something we're going to talk on the next podcast about diving, because I think it's something we can really get our teeth into. Big up to Colum. He said, even if the UK and Ireland were put in a group together, it would still be England and Scotland and Wales that qualify. No. Northern Ireland are joint top of their group with Germany in it. So at least somebody might be coming from Ireland. Big up to I am an Irish fan, damn it. I know you are, sir. Big up to Rayman. He says we haven't even mentioned the impact of AFCON or Winter World Cup finals.
True.
Yeah. Very quickly, just on Spurs, Basuma was injured when he was playing for, is it Ghana he plays for?
Mali,
he is injured. He picked up, I think, an ankle injury. So that is one, well.
Fractured ankle.
Yeah. What about 1 point for a score draw? Would you guys like that? Yeah, Nay?
It's one of those. I'd probably say no. Don't mess with it. I understand the reason why they changed it 2 points from 2 points from up to a win to 3 points to a win and 1 point for a draw. But yeah, no, leave it as it is. Even for a score draw, it would get too complicated. You're saying, oh, if you have this result, you get this many points. It's very basic. You win, you get 3. You draw, you get 1. If you lose, you get bugger all.
Yeah. Guys, it was, look, over the last few months, I think the Spanish league has now granted permission for clubs to go and play a game in America. I'm not with it. I think if that starts happening, I think we discussed it, haven't we, James, on our own sort of part. We went into great depth into it. So
yeah,
I thought of something I wanted to bring up for you guys to get your views on it, especially from a Manchester United and Arsenal viewpoint from it. Brenny, I'll start with you, then I'll go around the other way. With you, Brenny, games overseas, are you for it or are you against it?
Against. I mean, for me, if I have a favourite Canadian or American team, I would love to go over there and watch them play. I wouldn't want them to come here. You got to think about all their fans as well. You know, and also not everyone can afford to travel. So yeah, for me, I'm not for that.
I mean, look, Mr. B, look, we're from the problem is that we're all from a generation where football was simple, and Geeks as well, and James as well. But football was simple, and I know people laugh when I say, in our generation, but I just felt football was better to watch in them days. It was more enjoyable to watch.
I agree.
Yes, we had our problems. The stadiums weren't up to scratch. We had a hooligan problem, but I just feel it was more the game of the people. With these games now, with the likelihood of it might be coming to the Premier League, when games might be played in America, how would you feel? I mean, we discussed it, didn't we, James, with the North London derby?
Yeah.
How would we feel?
Yeah.
How would you feel if the Manchester derby was taken away, and it was the one game you went to every year at Old Trafford, and you had your ticket, but you lost that one game a year? How would you feel? And I will go down to you, Geeks, from North London derby point of view. But you, Mr. B, how would you feel if that was taken away from you?
You're going to be gutted, but you have to understand where they're coming from. The club are coming from. In it, everything they do is about money. Everything they do is about money. Would fans rather they put their ticket prices up by an extra £20? You know, there's situations. Everything balances itself out. You know, the club will make a decision, rightly or wrongly, and you know it's always money orientated. You know, they talk about goodwill to the fan. It's all generated by money. So I think that's the biggest issue is money terms. You know, if they can do these things and it helps save money for the club, they would have been doing it all already. Yeah. They would have been all doing it already. The fact that these things cost them money, you know, and it's not something that they really, really want to do. Yeah, that's where I think the biggest issue is. Yeah.
I agree, James. Very quickly, look, you found the problem. Are you there, or is he? All right, he's popped up. Geeks, North London derby. Look, it's a big game to us, right? If that was taken away, how would that make you feel as an Arsenal fan? I'd be fuming.
Yeah,
I really would be fuming.
I hear what Mr. B says about the economics. We're talking about other leagues that are struggling, though. They're desperate. I don't see the necessity for it when you've got the brand and the global appeal of the Premier League. When it comes to Arsenal, Tottenham, to put it into another stadium, that would be lifeless and not the same passion. You just lose. You're losing something.
Just on another point. What game would be the home game, and what game would be the away game?
Yeah.
You don't have the advantage. Just as you was talking, it didn't register to me until. Sorry, that's why I had to cut you because my brain's terrible. What is the home? Where do you get the advantage? Surely,
right? Exactly. Both games would have to be played abroad, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
To be fair, but then it doesn't work equally for the entire league, because let's talk the Premier League right now. So Arsenal, Tottenham going play abroad. Well, there's a global appeal to both. United have got that, Chelsea to City to an extent. But when you start to drop down the league for like your Palace and that, well, what are they going to make from a game? And do you see what I mean? And I'm not disrespect. I love Palace, but no disrespect to them. But they're not going to get a crowd in America to turn up for them, are they? And so then, what would the promoter pay for that? It doesn't work. It is the way for maybe Barcelona and Real Madrid's to try and squeeze a little bit more money.
Yeah.
But actually, when you actually drop down the table, it doesn't work and it doesn't deliver for everybody. So that's why I'm against it. They're trying to promote the league. So I think they were talking about playing in Australia. Well, how much of a market is there really out there for them?
There isn't.
To make a benefit to their coffers. It doesn't make sense, does it?
No, it doesn't. I mean, James, look, we all love our clubs, but are we losing our connection to the clubs? Are we losing as fans? Have the clubs... Look, we remember, and I keep going back to it, back in the day. I mean, I got told I'm talking World War II when I bring up back in the day. I feel like Uncle Albert during the 1980s to 1990 football decade. But have we lost... Maybe if these games did go overseas, would that kill the game for you in this country?
I don't think it'd kill the game for me, but it would certainly, it sort of then opens up a very, very dangerous can of worms for then. So the way I would look at it is you look at like America and the American football sort of franchises that you have over there, the big franchises. Now, the Raiders, Oakland Raiders, never used to actually play in Oakland. The Cincinnati Bengals, never used to play in Cincinnati. The Indians never used to. In baseball is exactly the same. The Indians never used to play where they play. I can't remember. And same as the San Francisco baseball team never played where they play now. They moved cities to try and attract bigger fans, bigger crowds. So if you all of a sudden upsticks your Premier League team to go play a game in America and you get 80,000 people turn up to a game there, how long then before you say, well, okay, so we got good money from one game. What about two? What about three? What about four? And before you know it, half your season's played abroad somewhere. It's a very dangerous can of worms to open of shifting football clubs away from playing their games in their respected countries. I understand why the Spanish are doing it. The Spanish leagues are destitute of money right now. But like you said, the English pyramid and the English league is too big. And how far down the pyramid do you go?
Exactly.
Jump in. It's interesting that you said that. Just to jump in on that. So Arsenal roughly earn 4.6 million a home game. So what happens if a Saudi guy turns around and says, hey, come and play a game here. It doesn't matter that you're going to be paying in front of 3,000 people. We're going to guarantee you 7 million a game. You haven't got all of the expenses. You haven't got to do all of that stuff. And you're going to get 7 million, which is now 150% of what your gate is at home. That gets dangerous. Because then
what do you do with season ticket holders then?
Right.
I was going to bring that up actually with season ticket holders.
Yeah, go on. Then you bring it up then, Brady.
Ask me. Yeah, basically, let's have a thought for them and away and the away fans as well, because then what's going to happen is it's going to be a case of, say, for example, our clubs. You had it's going to be there's going to be at least 6 games overseas, right? For 3 clubs, and you're playing them twice overseas. And then what would happen is, then, so the season ticket I've paid for, I'm not going to pay full price for that season ticket because there's no way I'll be able to get over to to that venue abroad or wherever it's played. So there's that to consider, and then you'll get some fans that probably say, okay, cool, but I'm not paying like £140 just to fight, for a return.
Yeah.
I want to, get a deal done where cheaper flight. You know what I mean? Because I'm a season ticket holder. Do a special deal for us fans. So and that it's gonna be a load of confusion as well. And so there's that because you've got to think about. I mean, I was a season ticket holder. I'm not now, but you got spare thought for the season ticket holders and the
you
away
do.
fan.
You do. I mean, Rayman asked me here. Do you want to ask me this then, James? So I'm not answering my uncle. So if you want to answer me this.
Dermo, Rayman says, would it change your view, Dermo, if one Premier League game was guaranteed to be in Dublin?
Hell yeah, it would. Hell yeah. I tell you why. Because I'm going over on the 6th of December to see us play Brentford, right, over at Tottenham. And it's already the tickets cost me about 58, 59 euro. Plus the flights, 140 euro. Plus the one night in the hotel. Now, I may sleep at the airport, but I'm just using an example. You're looking at probably another 100 euro Saturday night. It's a peak night in London.
You're going to be looking at more than 100 euro, Dermo. I don't know where.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean.
We're a cardboard box at end of White Hart Lane.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of that. But the point to make, it would change it. I wouldn't be against that if it was in Dublin. I wouldn't be against that because don't forget, I don't see that be a problem because there's plenty of Spurs fans can't afford to get over to England, or there's Arsenal fans here. I mean, in Gorey, the town I live in, I see more Arsenal and Liverpool, Manchester United shirts around Gorey than Tottenham shirts. But Dublin, what, an hour from me up the road? Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. But it's the season ticket holders. It's the people that pay out thousands and thousands of pounds at the start of every season. What's going to happen to them?
Yeah,
we know. Colin makes another point here, a very good point, actually. The issue is to have this. They will want big games. North London Derby, the Manchester Derby, the Scousers Derby, etc. Lower less clubs wouldn't get picked. Palace's chairman was on the radio yesterday, Talk Sports, saying he was against it.
Right.
So he wouldn't want it. So, with UEFA and sorry, James, what are you going to say?
I was just going to say, I know we were talking like expenses and that for like for yourself, Dermo, flying over and everything. I live up here. I support London club. I'm from Yorkshire. Now I've looked at going to games, and I certainly looked at the Carabao Cup game versus Doncaster. Was would have been a cheaper option for me, but what I found was yes, the ticket for the game was cheaper. Was like 35 quid. But for trains from Doncaster down to London, with literally that game being drawn, when I started looking at the train fares had jumped from round probably what you could have got for like another 30, 40 quid single, would have jumped up in price to 120, 130 quid. And that was before like anybody had even started booking them. So that was then nearly 200. So even for me to go to sort of like a game against completely lesser opposition, I was probably looking at £300-400 to travel down, go to the game, and travel back on the same night, let alone stay the night in London. So and that to me is it prices me out of the market of going to more games than what I would like to.
And I feel that's not fair. I feel that's not fair on us fans. We can't afford season tickets. And I'm sure Mr. B would love to go to Old Trafford. I don't know when the last time you went to Old Trafford, Mr. B, but I'm sure you would like to go again. I know James, you would like to go to more Tottenham games. Bring your young lad there. Do what was. What we did. My dad brought me to all my Tottenham games. He wasn't even a Spurs fan, but he when I was small, brought me to my Tottenham games. I'm sure, and maybe a bit different for Geeks and Brenny. Brenny, you're London, so it's a bit easier for you to get to games. I don't know about you, Geeks. Are you far from London or?
I'm in Bath, so I'm in the West Country.
So you'd be the same as James then. It would cost you a fortune to get down to the.
Because it's me and the boy. It's not just me. So it's me and the boy to get down there.
How far would you be away from Old Trafford, Mr. B, if you were to go?
I'm London, bruv.
You're in London?
preemptive-
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I'm London.
You would have to make. Whereabouts in London are you from?
I'm central. I'm West London, bruv. I'm
Oh, you're West London.
green.
Oh,
You're in the
Fish.
posh part.
Who's a posh fuck? I fucking wish, bruv.
West London's very posh.
Only up the road. Just not far from me, Mr. B.
So where you at?
Me, I'm Acton.
Oh shit. Oh yeah. You are around the corner. You're what, 6 miles from me, bruv. Yeah. You
You're
are
not
around
the posh
the corner.
part.
Yeah, but
We've got
I'm
posh
originally
people on
from
the channel
Hamwell.
tonight.
I'm originally from Hamwell, and that's in the Ealing Borough. So originally
Yeah, I'm
from
Yeah,
Lewisham.
that's around the corner.
A
Liverpool.
Lewisham boy here. I'm from Lewisham, you know, the
Is
posh
it
parts
lived in
of
Greenford,
London.
lived in Fairground? Always
Lewisham
been
and
West.
Peckham. That's where my family are. So
Oh, so you're the one that owns the yellow three-wheeler that went round selling dodgy TVs to Al right now. I know.
yeah, I've got a load of kit in the back if you want it, you know.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, there is the history when Arsenal moved into
The name's
North
Trotter.
London was North London. Not if anyone knows, before the Doomsday Book, North London was a lovely green land. James
Oh,
was
yeah.
telling me this the other day. He said
Wow.
North London was beautiful and maidens were dancing and did everything, and then Arsenal turned up, and
He
then
got
it
this
all
one
went downhill.
from
Then
Boise, when Boise was talking to Mike, innit?
yeah, that was it. I've got to find it. I'm going to write it down and do it properly, but it's along them same lines. I would just big up to the chat and say big up to Rayman. Shameless, Dermot. Shameless. I don't care, but it makes sense, which is why I always push back on the tourist fan BS. Costs international fans just as much for one game as my season ticket. That's it. Big up to Wayne's in South Ruslip.
Okay. Yeah, not far from us. Not far.
We were going to talk about FIFA UEFA. I'm very conscious Mr. B's got a show tonight at 9, so I'm very conscious that we're going to have to get off so you can get over to the Manchester United agenda. I want to talk a bit about what this podcast is really about. It's about past football and football from the past, and us older fans talking about the good old days and our clubs in the good old days. So, James, look, we're both 80s kids. We're teenagers in the 90s. We remember the Ivan Scholar, Mr. B. You remember the like Brian Robson or Steve Coppell playing back in the day, and of course the guys below me and Brenny. You're from our era as well, Brenny. Us four. Geeks is a little bit, ahead of us. Like he's only a young pup compared to us four.
He's a weed whippersnapper.
So yeah.
Guys, look, if you could pick one player from a decade that you really love from your club, who would it be? Now, me and James will go last because I feel, Mr. B, I'll let you go first because I'm unconscious of your time. When was your first game watching Manchester United, and which player would you bring from the past into the current Manchester United team?
So my first game,
Mm.
I'll say obviously would have been TV, was the actual game we lost to Arsenal in the FA Cup in 1970, whatever that was, 79, 77.
79.
So you're under Tommy
Fine.
Doherty? No, he wasn't manager then, was he?
I'm not going to tell you who the manager was. I just remember not knowing much about football.
Was Tommy Doherty.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, it was Tommy. Yeah, the dog.
Yeah, I couldn't even begin to tell you all of that. It was I don't know why, because United lost, but I supported the losing team. I think it could have been worse. I mean, I could have ended up being an Arsenal supporter for fuck's sake. So thank God the gods did what they did to me and let me go over to the United side. But yeah, so that was the first game that I watched, and don't ask me to support a losing team. It makes no sense to me. The player I'm going to have back is obvious. It's Roy Keane. It's not an argument. It's not a debate. Maybe if we were playing in a different system, then maybe it would have been a different player. But we're playing in a two-man midfield, and we need a midfielder who could do two-man job. So, without an argument, without even blinking, I would say Roy Keane.
James, first game, Tottenham, and who would you bring back from the past?
Oh God. There's too many to choose from, Dermo. You've really put me on spot here. I
I can come back to you if you want, if you need time to think about it.
because I've got three in my mind that sort of jump out at me, and it's ask Arsenal guys who'd vote for me while I decide between these three.
Just very quickly, guys, before we get at the bottom, just one question, you, Mr. B. Paul Gascoigne. He was on about him apparently nearly signing for Manchester United. And I will ask everyone this as well. I don't know if everyone will agree with me. I think if Gaza went to United, he would have turned out a different player. Do you agree with that, Mr. B?
Yeah.
Would you have loved to see Gaza in your side?
Yeah, Ferguson run that squad with an iron rod. I'm not going to say he still wouldn't have been out there having a drink and shacking grannies, because that's free time. That's what
I
you
thought
do.
that was Wayne Rooney.
That's what
They were both at it, man. They were both at it. It must be something to do with the genius gene. I'm glad I'm not a bloody genius, to be fair. Let's look. It's I forgot your fucking question, Dan. Sorry, brother.
As all right. Would you have liked Paul Gascoigne in your team?
Yeah, of course. Maverick, of course. Yeah, I like dribblers, and he went past players. Yeah, so yeah,
he did.
No problem with
Geeks.
Yes.
One player from your past, and when was your first game you watched Arsenal?
My first game I went to was cup game, and it was, oh my gosh, my brain's gone a complete blank. Hartlepool League Cup, and Wrighty got a brace and Bergie got a brace. Incidentally, if I could I would have said Cantona into this United team would be brilliant. I understand why he went for midfield, and for you boys, I would go Sheringham up front for you. For us, I was really torn. I feel like our defense is really strong. Our midfield is strong enough. So I'm looking at the forward line. Bergkamp's my favourite player of all time. Righty would be that forward that could just get left. Anything you want to do right now. But it has to be Henry because we're weak on the left. So Henry could operate that area. So it'd be Henry.
Yeah. Brenny?
Ooh. First game was it was Southampton 1992. It was the last game of the season. We won 5-1. Ian Wright hat trick. That's when he beat Gary Lineker to the Golden Boot, and it was Castle's birthday. It was his last game for the club. That was my first live game. But one I saw on TV. It was actually it was Tottenham at White Hart Lane. That was 1986-87 season. We won 2-1. And if you're talking a player for now, there's so many. You see, I was thinking likes of Robert Perez, Patrick Vieira, David Rocastle in the formation we play now. David Rocastle can easily play in an 8, and he could also play where Saka plays because he's my favourite right-sided player of all time. But in this team, I'd have to go with Henry as well because it was between Henry and Wright.
Yeah, same.
As much as I love Ian Wright, and Ian Wright
Love him.
one of my favourite players, but I'm just looking at pure footballing ability. But the thing is, Wright was a better finisher for me, but Henry just had
100%.
more. Right, Henry had something more, and Henry, all those players I mentioned could walk into this team.
Yeah,
but Henry would be the one.
Yeah. I think Henry still could. You take how far Henry goes back. When you bring players forward, he would change the game today because there'll be no high lines. You can't play a high line against Thierry Henry. It'd destroy you.
Yeah,
I would have said Vieira. I would have said Vieira if our midfield was terrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James, some good picks there from the guys. Down to us.
Yeah.
Would you agree Graham Roberts in the midfield? or would you go for a striker? For me, I think Graham Roberts. For me, I would bring Graham Roberts back. What about you, bud?
See, I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you the three that I was torn between. Obviously, one that really jumped out to me. I mean, without being obvious on Jimmy Greaves, I wanted to go somewhere a bit different than Jimmy Greaves because obviously I'd love to see Jimmy come back. I think Martin Chivers was absolutely phenomenal for us, and also Steve Archibald. If you're talking about midfielders that used to run at defenders and terrorise them, Steve Archibald or Ozzy Ardiles. Now they were my three, and if I was gonna pick one, I would probably go with Steve Archibald. The way he used to run, he used to cock his hand and just sort of, he was like scampering, but he used to run defenders and terrorise them, twist them which way in Sunday. So, yeah, for me, bring back Steve Archibald to our midfielder, and watch him bossing.
I mean, Garth Crooks. Pardon?
Did he also play up front for you as well?
He was a strike partner for Garth Crooks up front, Archibald and Crooks. Yeah. Look, you got Gary Lineker. He's somebody, back in the 80s. So, what was your first game you saw, James? Tottenham game. What was your first game?
So my first Spurs game I ever saw was the 1994-95 season away at Ellen Road, and I believe we lost. I think it was 4-2. I think we lost. But my first game at White Hart Lane would have been Spurs Fulham in the FA Cup. I'd got friends who had got tickets, and it was Spurs Fulham in the FA Cup. I can't remember what year it was. I'm going to find out what it is now.
Yeah, I know Mr. B has to go. Mr. B, do you want to? Yeah, okay. I'll find the link and I'll put it in the description below. I know you got a show at 9. So what are you talking about at 9 o'clock then, sir?
I'm going to be honest, right? I have absolutely no idea. I've left it. Listen, can't lie to you. It's going to be something Man United. I've left it to them to talk about. That's why I was late for you. I had to be flying in. So we'll be talking Man United. I doubt there's even anybody in there interested in Man United until you come to play us to take points off us. So when we do play either of your teams, just jump in the chat. We'll get you on for the preview. Yeah, ready? Obviously, it's a long way away. I know your one's coming. I'm actually looking forward to murdering you, Derms.
That's going to be interesting. We still own Manchester. When we go up to Old Trafford, I want the red carpet. What else do we want up there, James? Because we own Manchester. So, oh no, we're going to guarantee 3 points anyway.
I will say nothing. I know what my team's like. I don't predict them to do anything apart from turn up in the right shirts. So with that, I'm gonna go. Derms, appreciate for having me on. Next month, in it once a month, you said, didn't you?
No, well, I'll do this once a week. If we can do this once a week, if we can, we'll talk about it behind. We'll talk about it. I'll set up a WhatsApp group and we all can send when we're free because I've really enjoyed this tonight and it's something different. It's about talking about football, so that's all I like talking about. So big up to you, Mr. B. Good luck. I'll be in the chant tonight over the agenda. So
Nick,
everyone do get over there.
Take care, Rennie.
Yes,
Mr.
Mr.
B, man. I'm out. Cheers, thank you.
Bye, buddy.
Bye.
Cheers, Mr. B. Bye.
He is a proper legend, that fella. He really is. Let him take him up there. What a legend he is. Guys, are you all right?
1998, It was the 1998 FA Cup. That was the first game I saw at White Hart Lane. Tottenham versus Fulham, 1998 FA Cup match on the. It was close. It was in January because I remember it just being cold and it was close to my birthday. And we ended up winning 3. I think it was 3-1 that we ended up winning. Colin Calderwood scored early on, and no, not Colin Calderwood. Colin Calderwood did score. I can't think who his name was now.
Wait, look.
Stephen Clements.
Oh God, that's
I knew
going
it
back.
comes to me.
Jesus,
Yeah.
that's going back.
1998. Stephen Clements was still playing for us in 1998. But yeah, Stephen Clements,
me.
Colin Calderwood, and I can't remember who the third goal scorer was. It can't have been anybody that jumps out in my mind. But that was the first game I saw at White Hart Lane.
Look, guys, we are going to leave that because I know you got. Oh, you're okay for another 5 minutes. Just let me know if you're all right. If you're on the 5 more minutes,
Yeah,
okay.
I've got another 5.
Yeah, all right. I just want to talk very quickly about UEFA and FIFA. Just very much. We will try to bring this on to the next one we do. Maybe this would be a good ending point to start on the next one. Now, FIFA have come out and said they want to ban this overseas crap, and teams must play in their own league in their own UEFA banner. You got UEFA on the other hand giving permission for teams to do this. In your view, guys, does UEFA have to be restructured from the top down? Does FIFA have to be restructured from the top down? If you were given the job as FIFA president, what's the first thing you do? And this is for guys in the chat as well, in the comments. We will discuss it with Mr. B next week. But James, you've just been voted in FIFA president. You've got a stack of paperwork on your desk, but what's the first thing you do as FIFA president?
Cut ties with UEFA.
Why?
Because the corrupt is sin.
Sorry, you FIFA, but okay, you cut ties with. Is that why would you cut ties though? What would be the balance? What would be the reasoning for that?
When I say cut ties, I mean make sure UEFA know that FIFA are in charge of English football, not UEFA are in charge of English football with FIFA that kind of having a say. No, take back control from UEFA. That's where yes, English clubs can still be part of the UEFA European competitions, absolutely, but retake control of the nations, of the leagues and things like that, and really sort of stop the influence UEFA has on the English game.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Geeks, you've just been given the job as FIFA president. What was the first thing you do?
I think both bodies have a governance and integrity issue. I don't like how everything is money, and the one rule that I would implement straight away is mandatory head of presidential elections every 4 years.
Yeah,
that's it. No, none of this. I can rule as the king for the next 20 years, and whoever puts a couple of pound notes in my back pocket, I'll make sure.
Sepp Blatter for one. Geeks. Sepp Blatter.
Well, look at this guy in Pantino. Look what he's doing. Yeah. All of this winter, he's just wanting the oil money, isn't he? And so, no, none of that. Every 4 years, once you've run once, you can't run again, and that's that.
Yeah,
that's fair. Rayman's put the first thing I do as FIFA president is open a Swiss bank account. I get a great legal and accountancy firm. There you go. Do you know what? I think we all do that. Brenny, you become FIFA president, and me and James and Geeks, so your assistant presidents, like we get good gushy numbers. What would you do, sir? first day in the job, what's your number one thing to do to improve the game?
To improve the game. Well, I'll
Yeah.
tell you what I would do. I've been saying this for years. I would basically have a sit down with UEFA and say, well, look, this is what we're gonna do. If there's any countries who teams from the same country who reach a European final has to be played at their home stadium. Like it could be, say for example, when you played United last season, there should always be a secondary team. So it'd be Wembley Stadium, for example. If Milan and Juventus meet in the Champions League final, there's got to be, instead of it could be played in Copenhagen, for example, then it's not going to be played in Copenhagen. So there's a contingency plan from the beginning of the season to have it played in Rome, for example. Yeah. That's what I would do. That'd be one of the first things.
That's a good shout.
Would set that structure.
That's a very good. Yeah, go on, Geeks.
I was just thinking. The other thing is something I was on a show with you, Derm, and I said about this whole thing with refereeing about this is our top referee because he's got this badge. Yeah. I would make it that all referees have to come up to that level. So there is nobody relying on one referee because he's the best referee because he's got this special badge. No, all your referees, your League 2, your non-league, all referees around the world have to come up to the highest level, and then they can be in any game. And then and then we might get some level consistency in officiating. That's what I would do.
They did that with coaching badges, didn't they? Where there's so many different coaching badges. You got your continental, your pro license, and to manage certain teams at certain levels, you needed to have that relevant coaching badge.
Yeah.
And so if you primary manage like non-league teams, you're not going to need a continental pro license because you're not managing on the continent. But it also hamstrings managers to be able to become those sort of managers because they haven't got the ability to get those coaching badges because it costs money and their clubs can't afford for their coaches to go out on all these. So I think that should be a mandatory. A coaching badge is a coaching badge, and it covers you across all competitions as well. I think that would.
So there's no gatekeeping. Agree.
Yeah.
I just feel the UEFA and FIFA are corrupt as hell. So I think you have to restructure them all. Would you make it into one big governing body for the whole of football? So you get rid of like UEFA, you get rid of the people that look after Asian football, that FIFA is in charge of the lot. And also when it comes to the Premier League, and you look at other leagues, Serie A, you look at La Liga, you look at the French league, you look at the Dutch league, how would you, do you feel the Premier League in itself is coming as big as like UEFA, the way it's being run? And you look at the Man City thing, that's never going to get resolved as long as we're sitting here. Does that show that football in itself is so corruptible now? You look at Man City with UEFA overturning that when they're supposed to be going to the appeal board that nobody knows who they are. Yeah. Nobody, you can't sit in there, you can't video it, but Man City won the appeal to not be banned from the Champions League. So does every big organization like the Premier League, does it have to be some sort of structure in it that, okay, FIFA runs football and everything has to go through FIFA, get rid of the rest? Do you think that might
I think transparency is I think transparency is what you sort of we want in it. As fans. I think transparency is the key.
100%.
If you're not transparent, you're hiding something.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you put it all into one body, let's face it, FIFA are implementing all of these blasted World Cup things and FIFA World Cup because they're all trying to grab the money. UEFA, they're trying to grab the money. If it all becomes one entity, then all of that is all back under one umbrella. Does that ease the pressure of two competing bodies trying to earn over 4 billion per tournament or whatever it is?
I think it does.
It does, doesn't it? Because it's all then one body again. And then I think that's a bit more liberating. But then who is in charge of that? We can't have one tyrant at the top that is basically whoever's in his ear and around him, and all the back scratching, all the financial doping that goes on and around. Can't be having any of that. It's got to be mandatory. You can only serve once, short terms, next person.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Well, guys, that is the first podcast over. I'm sorry I wasn't my best tonight. I'm not really feeling 100%. So if I apologize, I've been a little bit I've taken some medication. I took some painkillers and my back medication. And if I seemed a bit zombied, it's because of that. So I do apologize.
Okay.
You're most pie-eyed.
Yeah. Yeah. I still think I can come up with great questions.
You can.
Shows there's something in the old noggin. Look, we're going to try to bring this every week. And the way this podcast is going to run, it's more going to be about football history. And that's what we all love, our clubs from the past. And we're going to talk about the good old days, great games, seasons, Tottenham, Arsenal. Of course, the North London. I know Brenny's going to do a North London podcast as well before the North London derby, which is going to be full of fun.
Definitely.
James,
you've got to be on for that.
Yeah, we will be here. James, doing a great job tonight as my co-host. Where can people find you? Because I know you got X, and I need to sort out StreamYard and broadcasting on your channel, on your X. So where can people find you, sir?
So you can find me at X at THFC James. I constantly post stuff up there, so please drop over there. Please hit a follow. I do break all my my transfer news on there as well. Mainly after I've got it onto our channel first and foremost. But yeah, I do tend to get a lot of stuff out on there. And you'll also get my opinions on there as well. So if you want to hear my opinions on lots of things, please hit a follow on there.
Yeah, please do. Big up, James. Thank you very much, man. I need to chat with you after the stream, so I'll talk to you quickly.
Yeah.
Geeks and Brenny down below, the South Londoners of Arsenal. Of course, we all know they're from South London. And I don't know why they keep saying for North London, but can you please go back to South London, guys? Do us all a favour. But Geeks, where can people find you? This man is a gentleman and a scholar. He really is. Got a great time for him. Where can people find you, sir?
Well, I'm from the Geeks of Muckleby, but I am on Brenny 74K. Have I got that right, Bren?
Brenny Caicedo.
Obviously here we've got the also hopefully soon Fear the Cannon with Dylan. I'm just around supporting football community, predominantly usually the Gunners community, but supporting my Gooners. So I'm usually in the chat, hitting the like and subscribe and all the good things like you should be doing right now. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and support good people doing good football content.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. And do good over there. And yes, we all know Geeks is a Spurs fan in the closet, but we will get him to come out as a full-time fan.
Oh, look at it. I've got it. It's my lucky cap.
He said before, I got this cap, and every time I wear it, Arsenal win. And I said, why don't you wear it all the time? Like he says, I've only had it for 2 days. So you may get something good out of it. Brenny, I've known you a long time, man. I love you to bits, man. Where can people find you and your channel as well? And what you got coming up on there?
Yeah, well, sorry. I mean, I know it's been a national week, and I did have things in the pipeline last week, but like Dermot, I haven't been well myself. Well, I'm back, getting back to it now, and hopefully I'll do. Yeah. There'll be a few things to do this week, and I want to do something actually with Nick. Hopefully we can try and get something done this week with regards to the Academy 11, all-time best Academy 11 at the Arse, and also. You can not only just find me on my own channel, Brenny K74. I will be on Aussie Gooners channel at some point. We're going to have a very, very interesting chat, and I'm looking forward to that. All will be revealed. And also, I've been invited onto the football takeover as well. So tune into that. That'll be Friday for the Fulham preview. That probably be around 6:45. So I'll be on my pod brother Bobby, and it's going to be the same as always. So nothing's going to change there. We're still the Lowry and Burnett, the Cannon and Ball, the Morecambe and Wise. We're still there. You know what I mean? The Saint and Greavesy.
Little and large.
He's a more serious one, so he's got to be Saint because I'm funny like Jimmy Greaves, but there you go. But yeah. And of course X as well. You find me on X, and you can find me on I'm using TikTok now. Wow. And Instagram threads. So thank you very much for having me on, Derm, and big up to all of you.
No problem. I've been trying to put this together for a little while, and I couldn't think who to put on it. And then it just Geeks, Brenny, and Mr. B and James. I thought, what a great cast to talk all things football. But we are back. We're going to try to do this as a weekly thing, maybe every Sunday if there's no games and we're not playing on the Sunday, or maybe on the Saturday evening. I will try to do something. But guys, sorry, Dave. I forgot as well. Hopefully, probably next Monday, it'll be Champions League show as well with ourselves. Oh yeah.
So yeah, we've got that as well. Champions League games next week. So that'll be in the pipeline as well. I'll set that up as well.
Yeah, look forward to that. That's good. Maybe James might even deputise for me if he's free next week to jump on it in my place if I'm busy doing stuff. James thinking you're back to work soon, aren't you, bud?
Next week. I've had 4 weeks off, and it's going to be back to grind next week. I'm only back for 2 weeks, though, and I've got another 2 weeks off, so it's all right.
That's grand.
Yeah.
That's great. But guys, that was the Premier League debate. Apologies, I'm not at my full 100%. I will be back properly by the weekend. I will be back to my delusional best. Don't worry about that. He hasn't gone anywhere. Just under the weather a little bit. But yeah, we are going to come back next week. Next week's show is going to be about history and about the North London derby as well, about why there is so much hatred between Tottenham and Arsenal, not between our guys because we all get on. But we're going to talk things like him who should not be named. We're going to talk about Pat Jennings as well. How come that's the only transfer that both sets of fans love? And also we're going to talk about the start of the Premier League and what we remember of the first season in the Premier League. Did we, from the end of the first division to the Premier League? God, 30 years now gone. Is the Premier League going 30 years now?
30 years nearly.
Yeah.
So
33 years.
33 years. So we're going to talk about that next week, guys. But do hit the like, do hit the subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. James, a pleasure as always. Geeks and Brenny, absolute honor. Mr. B, I know he's getting ready for the United Agenda, so do get over there and support the guys. And thank you so much. But guys, that is it. I'm out. Watch along tomorrow. Islander versus Armenia. Let's see, can we get a win?
Good luck for that.
Wednesday, I am off. Thursday, it is the podcast with me and Dave Harris, Irish Lads Talk Spurs, and then all your build up before the game. I don't know what James is waving in his hand.
Dog toy.
It's my dog's ball.
On that bombshell. Right, on that bombshell, what a way to end it. The end of the show with James and his magic ball. Speak to you later, guys. Come on, you Spurs. In Thomas Frank, we trust.
Come on, you guys.
Woo.
Eyes on the prize, victory in sight with all.